All right, so today's article starts out by saying, volunteers in the Golden Temple's kitchen sit on stone floors around preparation stations.
Golden Temple, that sounds fancy.
This is a great description sentence, trying to put give your mind a picture of where these people are. The Golden Temple sounds pretty cool. Sitting on stone floors. But let's talk about the people at the beginning of that sentence to find out where we're going with this. The word is volunteer, and it's spelled V-O-L-U-N-T-E-E-R, volunteer. Now, a volunteer is someone who offers to do a job or to do some work without being paid for it. As an example, we could say, Shelley is a volunteer at the hospital. She visits with children there on weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, now she doesn't get paid to do that. She does it because she wants to visit these children. She wants to help.
And of course, the word volunteer can also be a verb, which is the action of doing something like that for no pay. So if you are a volunteer, then you volunteer.
Right.
So let's look at another word in that sentence we need to check out. It's preparation. The people are at preparation stations. Preparation is spelled P-R-E-P-A-R-A-T-I-O-N. Preparation. And it's the noun form of the verb to prepare. So preparation is either the action or the process of making something or someone ready for use or ready to be kind of looked at and considered and thought about. It's all that getting things ready. That is preparation. Here's an example sentence. The teacher helped the students with their preparation for the big final exam. So she showed them what to do, where to look, gave them help, gave them encouragement to get them ready, which is why it's preparation. So I guess here the station is, in a kitchen, we talk about a station being like a small area where stuff happens. So preparation station would just be a place or a small area where food is prepared.
That makes sense. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about one particular preparation station. The article says, in one area, men and women roll vast amounts of dough into balls. Okay, so this is one particular station where they're working with dough, and we saw they're working with vast amounts. Now, the word vast here is spelled V-A-S-T, vast, is an adjective, and it's a way of saying that you have an extremely large maybe amount of something, maybe an extremely large area or like piece
distance,
of land.
Something like that. Just big lots, many, something like that. And what they're rolling around is vast amounts of dough. Dough is spelled D-O-U-G-H, and it is a thick mixture mainly of water and flour, kind of all put together. But often there are other ingredients. You might use yeast if you're doing bread, salt, maybe eggs, sugar, something like that. And it's the stuff you use to make bread and pizza bases, pastries, donuts, of course, because donut, cookie dough, which should have a lot more sugar in it, and all other kind of baked goods like that.
Now you can tell that I like the sound of that.
Yes, indeed.
I love anything that uses dough. All right, so what are they doing? What are they making with this dough? The article says these will become roti, flat Indian bread. Now, if you've ever had Indian food or been to an Indian restaurant, you sometimes see a machine in the restaurant. It kind of looks like an upside-down pot. It's made of metal, and the people have the dough in their hands, and then they stretch the dough out over this round metal piece of machinery, and what they're doing is they're making roti or naan. It's sometimes called naan, N-A-A-N.
Naan is usually a bit thicker, and you can sometimes stuff it with stuff. Roti is almost, sometimes they call it handkerchief bread because it is a lot thinner. It's almost kind of like paper thin, but it's all used to kind of scoop up the food with. I love Indian food so much.
Me too.
Okay, now before we get carried away with that, we'll say in another area, so this is another preparation station, workers stir bright vegetables in a large wok. Okay, so they're cooking something different and they're stirring it. Let's take a look at the word stir. So stir is a verb. It's spelled S-T-I-R, stir, and it means to move a spoon or some other kitchen tool round and round, either in a liquid or another mixture of food, to make sure that all the ingredients are properly mixed together, and it also stops things from sticking to the side or the bottom of the pan or the pot, and because that'll make them burn. For example, if you were reading a recipe or cooking instructions, you might see one of the instructions saying, stir onions and garlic in the hot oil until they turn golden brown. And they're stirring them up in a wok.
Yum. So this delicious sounding sentence also had the word wok right at the end of it. Wok is spelled W-O-K, wok. It's a noun. And it's a wide pan shaped like a bowl. So it's got a wider sort of, it's a bit bigger. And you put it on heat the same way you do other pans or pots. But it's just got a bigger area
and it's also not a flat base.
Right, it's
so
like
you
a
can,
bowl.
And because of the way the heat is transferred, the middle part of the wok will be hotter and the bits on the sides will be less hot. So you can kind of move the stuff that needs more cooking into the middle and move the other stuff out to the sides. Okay, now let's get on to talk about kind of a bit about where we are and what's going on here and why there's so much food.
It sounds delicious, but what's it for?
Well, the article says the quantities of food are huge because Sikh temple kitchens called langars provide free meals for anyone who visits. Okay, so this is a place we could be the Sikhs are people of a particular religion coming from the north of India. So you see Sikhs in India and Pakistan and all the way around the world. You'll know them from their turbans.
And they wear the turbans.
And the men have beards, which is they're not allowed to cut their hair or cut it too short.
That's right.
Now, they were making huge quantities of food. The word quantity is spelled Q-U-A-N-T-I-T-Y, quantity. And quantity is an amount or number of something. And it's often used when we're not giving an exact measurement or number, but we can describe it by saying small quantities, large quantities, huge quantities of something.
Right.
For example, Pat drinks large quantities of tea every day.
Like 10 cups?
No, maybe 3 big cups, though.
Okay, well, that is a big quantity of tea.
Maybe that's about 10 small cups.
Okay. All right, so what's going on here? The article says, however, this Punjab langar in particular takes the cake, feeding up to 100,000 people daily. Okay, so we saw the phrase in particular here. That's another way to say especially this one place, or to emphasize one more than other things. So here we're talking about the Golden Kitchen langar.
Golden Temple, isn't it?
Golden Temple, yes, the Golden Temple langar, as opposed to other langars. So the Golden Temple, this one in particular brings in 100,000 people daily.
Yeah, which is why this one, more than the others, needs all this amount of food.
Right.
Okay, it's in the Punjab, which is this region of northern India, if my geography's right. I think it's about there. And here we've talked also about the phrase take the cake.
That's right.
Okay, this one takes the cake. Now, what does that mean? Does it really have anything to do with cakes? Well, it's today's shortcut for you, so let's watch a video, find out exactly what it means.